Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under the hood. From the classics to the commuters to the weird noises and the to what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and we're shifting into drive this morning with the Motormouth Morning Drive, 8 a.m. each and every weekday morning, including Saturday morning. I'm here for you. Well, I'll tell you what. It is certainly winter down here on the south shores of Fort Erie and the lake. And it's an angry lake. And yesterday, if I sound a little torn apart, it's because I am. 5.5 hours snow blowing and shoveling. We call it putting on the banjo. So if you hear me say, gotta put on the banjo, that's the shovels. You can't get into every nook and cranny with the snowblower. It just won't fit. I've even put some Marvell mystery grease on the side, both sides, top and bottom, but it won't in there. Just gotta, no. And it's been blowing and drifting all night, so it definitely looks like Canada. A typical winter in Canada. But I got to tell you, after 5.5 hours yesterday, I think the snowblower dragged me back to the mini barn. Pretty much. I'm not looking forward to having to do some more today. It's getting old, if you know what I'm saying. And a couple of things I forgot yesterday, and I got to, my bad, to give you a little teaser of what we were going to talk about today. And I didn't get all my commercials in for our program partners. And the whole thing was, Mondays we shoot vids, put together 3 new ones to go into our library so that we're ahead of the game in making sure that we have fresh videos in advance. So if there is an issue, we can just pluck them and place them in a series and schedule them in. So we had that big thing going on yesterday, and then I knew I had to dig us out because every vehicle was buried right up to its windshield. And I forgot some stuff. I know. Treat me like a very bad donkey this morning. Well, everything we talk about lives at our website. Always, always, always. That's what our web maintenance guru, Mike, takes care of. Making sure that everything is available for you on our CarConnectionBusinessNetwork.com website. That's our biggest drawer in our toolbox. So all the logos for our sponsors and program partners and recommended business owners that have been with our Car Connection radio for 31 years are over here on the digitals now. And it's great to have them with us, but we have to make sure that we support them. So thank you in advance. They're there to help you, and they're there to be your coach in the profession that they're in. Also, all our platforms are on the top right-hand corner of the homepage of our website, CarConnectionBusinessNetwork.com. ccbusnet.com is the short version. I always put that in every description of one of our YouTube videos. All the links are there. And also on every podcast here on iHeart, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple, and all other platforms. So wherever you are grabbing your podcast from, just type Car Connection Workshop in the search box, and you will find us and pull us up. Today is officially Series 1, Episode 71 already. Wow, 31 years doing radio. I did 52 shows a year. And coming over here onto the digitals, I'm starting to get very comfortable with it now, and then we're going to add in how I can bring guests on board, because there's people I'd really love for you to meet that know their craft so well. They're great people to grab onto their coattails, honestly. And I'd like to be able to take phone calls as well. And then we'll move into once a week doing a live stream on our YouTube channel, just so that you can jump in the chat room, get some conversation going, answer some questions, have some fun with you as well. So today's topic: why short trips kill engines faster than high mileage. A lot of people don't understand that. Oh, if I just drive it less, it'll last longer. Oh, no, they don't. And I'm going to cover that this morning. That is definitely a myth. Absolutely. So before we do that, let's have a swiggy together. If you're just scooting through the drive-thru, don't forget to double check your order, flip-dipple check it, and lock that cup down in your cup holder. Hand over the crayons, the Corollas, the Crayolas, over to Skippy that's in your passenger seat there, and the folded up leaf bag, and just tell them it's a laptop. Just take some notes. Exactly. But if you miss anything, you can head over to our homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Click on the iHeart icon. It'll take you right to our iHeart library, and all the programs are listed right there by date, by title, the whole schmeal. So you can find the programs that you want to listen, re-listen, or share. That's great. That makes it real easy. So if you miss something, you haven't really missed it. Coming up in February after Family Day here in Ontario, that's somewhere around mid-month. Thank goodness February only has 28 days. I'm about ready to, going, what do they call that in the winter? You get to February, cottage something, stir crazy. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. But anyways, let's have a swiggy together this morning, whatever your favorite morning beverage is. Great to be with you. Thank you for inviting me into your car or wherever it is that you're listening to our podcast and our podcast this morning. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it in there. I put a little honey in there this morning. I needed that. Yeah, my friend Angus, he's a name, and he's a firefighter, and he also has a little mini farm and bees, and his honey is amazing. Oh yeah, the taste of the flowers and the honey is just off the planet. And so I'm snow blowing yesterday, and I'm into it. I'm like, the snow was so deep that I couldn't see the snowblower. I'm just telling you, and that's not even exaggerating. That's how deep the snow was and drifted. So it was a little bit packed, but we get, the little red monster, he got through there. Thank goodness. I turn around, there's Angus. Got 2 jars of honey. I'm going, oh, hi, Angus. I don't have my wallet on me when I'm snow blowing. We were going by, I thought I'd drop it off. Oh, thanks, buddy. Can you just put that inside the door? I got to get back to it. Sorry, I can't hang out. Things are waiting. So I put some honey in there this morning. That is so good. I figured out this morning tea thing. Now, don't tell everybody, because I'm a coffee drinker. After I do the programs every morning, I top up with coffee, but it's really good. Makes you feel like $1,000,000 all crumpled up. So tomorrow morning, so I don't forget to give you a little teaser, dealer maintenance schedules, helpful or overkill? And I'll tell you what, I got schooled on that 4.5 years. I worked for a major car manufacturer, European car manufacturer. I worked 80 hours a week for 4.5 years on that location. I'd had enough. You know what that works out to? Well, I was on the high volume wholesale program. I would tell anybody, never do that. Salary yourself out. Never, ever, ever do that. That's called high volume wholesale. Yeah, where I was located, Skippy, no, we called him Sparky, was Sparky. One night it's blowing and drifting and snowing, and I'm 90 minutes away one way. And I got to get back to a little town called Fisherville along the South Shores. So, and I'm driving a Beetle. Just saying, I was a little cheesed off. I'm running off my reports for the big talking head. And no disrespect, I had socks older than that fella. Anyhow, running off the reports, drinking as much coffee as I could. And everybody left the gates all open, left cars parked outside. And the rule was no cars outside the gate. Gates got to be closed. Gates got to be locked. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So anyhow, I go out there. Couldn't get the gate to close because somebody didn't fix the tire on it. So the thing's off the rim. I'm dragging it. I slip. I fall. I rip a brand new pair of slacks. Yep. Way to go. So anyhow, I get all the cars in, get the gate closed and locked. I head back to the waiting area. Coffee's brewed. I'm sitting there and I'm doodling. And I'm getting there, so hang on. So I worked 80 hours, usually 82 a week, and I'm scribbling out and I'm going, dang, Sparky, my lot boy, he's like crushing it. And I figure out how much am I making per hour? $6.32 an hour. And I boldly remember being the only dude in the entire dealership, all by myself, yelling, I've got to be an idiot to work for that. I'm a fully licensed, qualified automotive service tech, truck technician, diesel tech, HVAC tech, and I'm making $6.32 an hour. Dang. And I said to myself, man, I can make more money digging a ditch with a spoon than $6.32 an hour. So in 4.5 years, I worked 9 years there. 9. So I tell you, if you're trading time for money, home to work, 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 and then doing it again the following week, you need to put as much money back in your wallet as you can so that you can have choices. Choices. Instead of getting on that wheel like a hamster, run, get off, lick the ball, get a pellet, jump back in, run, get off, lick the little ball, get a pellet, jump back on. It doesn't have to be that way. So if you're interested in keeping your vehicles long term and saving money on repairs and being ahead of the curve, I don't care if it has 1.2 million miles on it. I can keep that thing looking good and keep it running and avoid being car broke. So if that's you, you're on the right channel. Because I'll give it to you straight up, because I have seen 44 years of crap where people, you're making the wrong decisions. And it's costing you a fortune to trade time for money and be car broke. Yeah. You just have to settle into the fact it's a piece of equipment that needs pieces parts. And if you stay ahead of the curve and ahead of vehicle maintenance, like yesterday I talked about fleet service maintenance. If you adapt the mindset of fleet service maintenance, every time you turn that key and drive that sucker to work and back, you made money. You made money. You put money back in your pocket. So we're going to jump into that this morning and talk about why short trips kill engines faster than high mileage. And it all ties back in. This is why I created the Car Connection Maintenance Schedule Kit. All age groups. You can be as dumb as a willow branch and figure out how to use it, and it puts money back in your pocket. And you don't lose any gray matter because the Car Connection Maintenance Schedule is laminated, so they're environmentally safe and friendly. You get a dry erase marker. When you get to the bottom of the page, you've covered all the services and you're well ahead of the curve, so the vehicle's not going to become a big pile of scrap. And guess what? You erase it off and you start at the top. That's how it works. That's how fleets and fleet maintenance works. Every vehicle has a tracking sheet. What's been done and when. When it's due for the brake inspection, when it's due for a full annual inspection. So if there's 374 units, which one company I was doing some tire maintenance for, they had 374 units just in Ontario. They had 1,000 units out west. That's a lot of tracking. So if you're already complaining and going, oh, more work. You know what's work? Sitting in front of that freaking flat thing you call TV and saying, I'm sitting there and I'm relaxing. I can't relax in front of any TV. Never could. I haven't had TV since 2009. Don't miss it. Don't care for it. If I want to look for something and learn something, I go on the YouTubes. Because everything's true, right? Yeah, you got to be a filtre on there. But there's some really good people giving away some fantastic tips. And kudos to them because they really are. They're putting it out there. And we do the same on our channel. I'm teaching and having fun with you on our YouTube channel. We have almost 200 videos up, and we're building this 97 Jeep TJ Wrangler that I saved from the crusher. And everything we've been doing is fleet maintenance. That's it, bringing it back to life. And I'll tell you what. I gave you some numbers yesterday, $58,000. And I'm going to tell you what vehicle that was that I picked those numbers. These are all legit numbers. 2026 Jeep Wrangler. $59,767 before the interest kicks in. And that's without shipping, PDI, and freight. And don't get me started on those three things because I know the skinny on that. And let me tell you, I learned some stuff being putting myself in a dealership. When I posted my resume, they sucked me up like a shop vac, but they worked my butt clean off. Yeah, I am British. I don't have a bum. I just tell you that. All my friends say, Motormouth, you don't have a butt. Steady on, characters. Well, you don't have any gray matter. That's usually what I tell them. Do you have a brain? What would you do with a brain if you had one? We're always ribbing each other, and it's all in good fun. But anyways, let's get to the weather. Because it's going to be a bit gnarly today here in the Niagara region. I don't know where you are, but I know there's certainly suffering down in the South Carolinas and Texas. It's cold down there, and they've had snow. Today, 7 degrees now with windy conditions. Wind is making it feel colder, about minus 13. Egads, man. Snowy conditions expected around 3 p.m. Yay. Today's temperature range will be from... Are you giving it to me straight up? Yeah. Okay. 6 to 17 degrees. It'll feel like minus 14 to 1 degree. High temperature today is a balmy 17. Break out the shorts and throw some sawdust down. We'll hold a square dance. Who's bringing the root beer? Yeah. Crazy. Like, this is getting old. Like, let's get on with the groundhog. Yeah. You know what I heard? Yesterday, it was yesterday or the day before. They want to use a digital Groundhog. Yeah, for Groundhog's Day. Yeah, what do they call it? Like a hologram for Groundhog's Day. What are you, an idiot? Who comes up with that stuff? Why don't you just get a stuffed animal? Yeah, so if it's cloudy, how's that hologram going to work? Oh, look. What is that? I don't know. Coming out of the hole. Jeepers. What do you gotta smoke to come up with ideas like that? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know, my parents never had to have that conversation about me using mind expanding drugs. Because you got to have a mind first. Yeah. There was a time when I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. 45% chance of snow today. I was just checking to see where we're heading here today. Snow. When they say snow event, especially on the south shores of Lake Erie, and the lake is not frozen and it's angry, we could get and have had feet of snow. Like last year, the year before, 3 days, 62 inches. No, not centimeters. 62 inches. Over halfway up the doors. It was brutal. I had to get some friends to come in with their blowers, and we busted shear pins. It was one crazy cleanup. So, extreme cold warning. These conditions started at 4:51 this morning. I'm up at 4 a.m. Tuesday, January 27th. So, additional alert, blowing snow advisory. So, please, folks, be careful out there. Drive according to road conditions, not your mind. Okay? Not your mind. You don't have the Batmobile. Snowy conditions expected around 3 p.m. Wind gusts up to 55 km per hour are making the temperatures feel like minus 13. Dress up. Stay warm. Make sure you've got your winter travel kit with you. Some dry boots, socks, some trail mix is good. You can make that up yourself. Don't put any chocolate in there. You can do dried blueberries, cranberries, and some nuts. That stuff works really, really good. And then you'll want more. It's moreish. And make sure you got a full jug of windshield washer fluid in the trunk, a couple of blankets, extra gloves, hats, and a super big warm jacket as well. The blankets, you could use one of those if you get stuck. Shove it under the tire. It actually works. You can very easily and gently climb out. Don't gas it. Yeah, because you'll probably turn it into shredded wheat. All right, let's jump into our conversation today. Why short trips kill engines faster than high mileage? And then tomorrow morning, dealer maintenance schedules. Helpful or overkill? And I'm going to share some of what I know without throwing anybody under the bus. But I did learn a ton of things about maintenance schedules there. And what does it mean? What does it say? What does it mean? And what does it mean to you? So get those crayons fired up. Let's get rolling here. Time moves very, very quickly and waits for no man. It's just like snow and grass. You know, before we know it, I'm liking, like maybe by the 28th of February, we're cutting grass. So we switch from white to green. I'm okay with that because you don't have to shovel it. Thank you to Rainbow Motors and Garage, sales and service that you can trust up in Scarborough. That's Rita and Ramiz Shanuda. The brothers will take great care of you up there. So if you got family and friends in Scarborough, check in with Rainbow Motors and Garage. Sales and service you can trust. They have a little car lot there. And you can also buy extended warranties on some of the vehicles that they sell. They don't sell any junk. If you're looking for something specific, let Rita and Ramiz know what it is you're looking for and let them do the due diligence and find that special vehicle just for you. They fix all years, makes, and models of vehicles, so you can buy it there, have it serviced there. Even if you're not buying a vehicle there, the shop is open to you for all makes and models up to and including light commercial vehicles. That's Rainbow Motors and Garage. Sales and service you can trust, bringing this morning's program to you. City Auto Sales and Leasing with Earl and Louise Grant out in the Toronto area. They've been around 25 years, maybe more, providing low mileage, top quality vehicles at fair prices. They do in-house leasing and financing. They're Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store, and they have a pretty decent indoor and outdoor inventory. Again, if you're looking for something specific, they've got 25 years of resources. Who better than to have Earl the car guy? And he is a fusspot, and I love that. That's the only reason why they've been with us so long. I've stayed away from car dealerships and car lots being a part of Car Connection because I just wasn't happy with the service and the quality of vehicles. So they got this one in the bag. That's how they've earned GTA's, Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. You'll get no junk there. And I'll tell you right now, Louise, she's going to be like your mama. If she thinks you're putting together something that's going to leave you car broke, she's going to tell you. She's going to make that suggestion. But you got a great family there to take you in and help you to be able to buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. City Auto Sales and Leasing. Fantastic couple. Louise, you will not want to leave. Once you go there and you visit them, you won't want to leave. You'll want to come back every month and buy a car. That's okay. That's groovy. All right, let's jump in. Here's what I know. And it circles back to preventative maintenance, regularly scheduled maintenance, and staying ahead of the curve. What does that mean? I'll break that down for you. Not waiting till everything has gone wrong on your vehicle and it comes in on a flatbed. It's limping, it's sputtering, it's running like dog poopy on the bottom of your shoe, and the list of repairs, not just the one that the car forced you to get it to the garage, but all the other ones that you neglected. And that's why you gotta plug in and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's so many videos there for you. Testing antifreeze, testing a battery, how we do it. What does it mean? What is it? How does it work? How does it break? How could that have been prevented? What could you have learned more about the basic fundamentals of vehicle ownership that would help you to prevent from getting ripped off when you take it to the service center? Are any of those things ringing a bell? Just a minute. I think I got one. No, this one's better. Tell me, which one is better? Yeah. You ring that one if you want to cuddle. It's written right on there. Anyhow, somebody gave me that. Oh, Joanne gave me that. Hey, that's kind of interesting. All right, before I digress. That's what that all means. Is fleet maintenance prevents that from happening. And yesterday I talked about how important looking at your vehicles, and whether you have multi-vehicles in the driveway or just one, that's your fleet vehicle. That vehicle makes you money if it's paid for. Just ask Tony or Larry Tetro, certified financial planning professionals. They'll iron that out for you. They sure will. Because that mindset of, well, I just want to throw parts on an old car. I don't care if it's worth $1.99 curbside with $600K on it. If it's been maintained, take over where they left off. It's money in your wallet. Short trip vehicles, I'll tell you what, I have bought so many Toyotas in my time, never had a bad one, almost $300K. And they've just been strong as an ox. Just take over where the previous owner left off. Like I was saying, this 97 Jeep, what put it in the yard? Every single video we've been putting together is negligence. Just let it go. Let it ride. I ain't spending any money on it. Well, I hear the same thing for 44 years. I just don't want to put any money into an old car. And then they leave it behind and sign the slip and go, Motormouth, do whatever you want with it. We're done with it. And then I take all the interior out, clean it out, do the mechanicals, wash it, wax it, and they come back and they go, oh, that's not. I go, yeah, it is. You're kidding me. No. Unbelievable. I go, well, that's what happens when you look after it. That's how it should look if you're going to maintain it. But what are you going to do to the next one? Same as everything that I just fixed that you didn't. I said, so what changes here? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. You got to change some things in your life if you want to change some things in your life. And when it comes to maintenance, all you that are driving vehicles less than 5K a year, they're high maintenance. I'm just telling you, kind of like some girls I went out with. Super high maintenance. I couldn't afford them. No. So I got a fish and a hamster. Anyhow, yeah. The category those vehicles are in, ready? Severe service. That's the category they're slotted in. So any fleet vehicles, companies that have fleets, that sometimes they have vehicles that do sit around for quite a while, then they would send them into the shop and we'd check them over. They'd be a disaster. Stuff rotting off, wiring rotted. It was crazy. Exhaust, brakes are a mess. If it's parked and it's sitting more than it's working, that vehicle qualifies under severe service. What does that mean in English? It means it needs to be looked at a lot more. And I can attest to that because we have summer vehicles that go out to fundraising events and car shows to meet and greet people. And we've had them for years and years. Every spring, I have to go over every single one. And guess what happens? I find stuff. And they've been parked for 6 months. Yeah, they go in the end of October. They come out, depending on how the beginning of June is. If it's shaky, we leave them in because there's no sense in leaving them outside either sitting. Got it? Yeah. So our storage campaign starts at the end of October, goes till June the 1st. And if I have to, I just pay down a little more till we get to the nice weather because June can suck. Like last year, it was wet and wetter and the wettest wet. You know what I'm saying? So whether you're a senior or whatever age group and you think driving the vehicle less is gooder, it is not. It is absolutely not. When I had my shop on the Hamilton Mountain, I looked after a bunch of seniors that was a brand new seniors complex just off Mud Street. I was up that way a while back and I'm going, this is Mud Street up here? It's like a freaking planet. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? I actually got lost on the Hamilton Mountain, near the, Stony Creek Hill, the Highway 20 hill there. Used to be a racetrack there, the Starlight Drive-In, and a really cool restaurant overlooking Stony Creek. Yeah, and I didn't even recognize it. But anyways, they built this, and we thought it was kind of cool because there was nothing up on Mud Street. It was just a country road. And there's this great big, beautiful residential place. So I had a few seniors come in, kind of like little worker ants, check us out. And then they went back to the nest going, the guy's okay. Yeah, he's young, but he's good. He even washes your car. Exactly. We washed every car. Whether it came in for an oil change or a flat tire repair, We give it a quick wash in the wash bay. Every single customer. So anyways, I started out with one customer, and I remember her name. She's probably long gone now. What a wonderful lady. Her name was Millie. Millie owned a 1987 Chevy Chevette two-door, stick shift, and she had a bum leg. And she drove tanks. She was Polish. She drove tanks in the war. She was a ballet, like a national ballet instructor. And she had the stories to tell. Oh my gosh. That lady, she was just teeny weeny, shaped like a pencil, had done the things she had done. Crazy. Anyways, Millie had this 1987 Chevette two-door. You know, it's the car that you get in and you wear it. And you can open the windows from all windows from driver's side. Yeah. I would have to pick that vehicle up every 2 months and keep it for a week, because Millie said you have to check everything because it's been sitting, and change the oil again. I'd go like, I'd phone her and go, Millie, you where have you been? You put 20 kilometers on it. You've been gallivanting the Hamilton Mountain? What are you doing? She goes, change it out. It'll be contaminated. She knew mechanics. Yeah. And she was like in her late 80s. This lady drove the stick shift. It was amazing. Anyhow, that car was in great shape, but I'll tell you, every time it came in from sitting, there were issues that we had to deal with. That little Chevette had next to nothing for mileage on it, but the brakes would rot off, the exhaust would rot open, and that was just one car out of that residential home. I started getting a bunch of them, and some of them I'd go over and the battery's dead and the brakes are locked up, so we'd have to send, the flatbed to go get it. And that's why those vehicles qualify to be severe service. They need a lot more service. Brakes, exhaust, emergency brakes, generally seized up, stuff rotted off and fell off with next to nothing for mileage on it, because the vehicle's it's wasting away in Margaritaville. I think I've heard that somewhere before. Anyhow, every single vehicle that we brought in out of there was in bad shape. Some of them, we'd only get them every 4 months, 6 months, and there'd be stuff. It was just, it wasn't worth them having a vehicle. But we understood, this is their independence. They decide when they want to get rid of it. And I'll tell you what, I didn't want any of them, because the corrosion underneath, they were flaky, rusted. They were icky underneath. Like, lots of problems are coming because of the rusties. So, severe service. You need, if you're driving less than 5K a year, less than 10K a year, your vehicle needs to come in for an appointment more, not less, more, to stay ahead of the curve, to keep your fleet vehicle going. The other thing that happens is the low mileage is really tough on the engine. And the reason being is, and I'll tell you what, I bought one, I'll give you an example. I bought a car, I got it super cheap. It had low mileage. It was driven just like Millie's. The engine blew up in 6 months. I cleaned the car up and stripped it down, and I sold it to a fella that was going to be commuting from Hamilton, Toronto to a job. The motor let go in 6 months with next to nothing on it for mileage. Why? Bunged up inside with carbon and sludge. The engine wore out from lack of driving it. And the motor couldn't take that commute. Yeah, it was sad. It was really sad because, after I cleaned it up, it was, a little rusty and crusty underneath, but, got some rust, a good solid rust compound on there to slow it up. But it had nothing for mileage on it, but that motor was tired of doing short trips. Carbon, sludge, and contaminated oil. The oil becomes heavily contaminated faster, much faster than somebody who's like myself, at one time driving 90 minutes one way from the dealership to home in hometown, and that time was out near Nanticoke. And where's that place? Where they have Friday the 13th. Port Dover. Thank you. Great answer. Yeah, I didn't live far from Port Dover, and driving 90 minutes one way. And they'd give me a brand new car with 0 kilometers on, and I put 16,000 kilometers on it in 6 weeks. So they had to take it away from me and then give me another one. And then I'd do the same thing. Then they told me they couldn't put a trailer hitch on the dealership to move it closer to where I live. And I said, well, it was expensive to live up in that area. Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, Guelph. Yeah, high tech. So was the numbers on the homes, too. Yeah, $860,000 to live in a pup tent. So there's a difference. I was pounding that thing down the road. But when you don't, the oil becomes saturated with unburnt fuel and carbons, and then it eats the bearings inside the motor. If you don't know what those are, if you watch a bunch of videos, the first 50 videos on our YouTube channel, you'll see what the bottom of an engine looks like inside, because we prepped a used engine to go into this 97 Jeep, because the one that was in there was not rebuildable from lack of cooling system maintenance. And you can watch that as well. What happens? Yeah, you need to take a look at that and go, whoa, that's nasty. What does that cost? Yeah, the engine was done. I talked to the machine shop about it in Niagara Falls, and he said, Dion goes, Niall, no, find a used one that's still running, and we can probably fix that one up. So lo and behold, one of my friends, that is another firefighter, works with the other firefighter, but he's a Jeep guy, and he found it on Marketplace with like 100,000 K on. So, but we went through the motor, because again, that motor was from 1997 with low mileage on it. And I'm thinking, low mileage, we need to go inside. And I pulled the cylinder head off, sent that out to machine shop for Dion to look at. And I went through the whole bottom end. The engine was like brand new. So whoever had that Jeep was changing the oil regularly, like not extending oil changes on a low mileage vehicle. Bad. So engine oil is going to become so contaminated from in-town driving, short driving. The vehicle does not get to run at normal operating temperature for long periods of time. That doesn't mean you drive it like you stole it. You know who you are. Yeah, that sign, it's not a suggestion. Just saying. And if the cars that are painted black with white lettering on and numbers, they'll let you know. Yeah, just how far over the suggested speed limit you're going. Yeah, there's a middle of the road with automobiles. You drive it less, you got to service it more to stay ahead of the curve. The curve being when everything piles up on it, and now you're looking at a major repair bill. That's not the way to do it. That's not how fleet maintenance works. So on the other end of the spectrum, you drive it very little. It needs more and more and more. So if you're less than 5K a year, that needs to be in the shop more. If you drive 10,000 kilometers or lower, you need to get it into the shop more. But if you're doing like 35,000 K a year, that vehicle's working and you don't need to do as much service, but you do need to stay ahead of the curve to make sure if there's anything major coming up, you can grab it before it turns into something ugly, and that puts money back in your pocket because there's always cause and effect. That's where the money comes out of your pocket very, very quickly. If we can slice that off and have a look at the vehicle every 6 months, if you're driving 35K a year, every 4 to 6, get it in the shop for a look over. Don't extend your oil change services. If you're driving little, then that oil's got to come out sooner. Absolutely. Because it is going to be filthy rich with fuel and carbon and acids that eat the bearings out of the bottom end of the engine. And that's why that car I sold to a guy, he goes, man, this thing's gorgeous. I go, yeah, it's been short tripped. Like I said, this is low mileage, sitting mileage. He goes, well, it should be all right. 6 months and let go. The bottom end let go because the acids in the contaminated oil ate the bearing surfaces, loosened up the motor, and it let go. And as I've said earlier in the program today, I bought vehicles, Toyotas, with like 269,000 K and put that thing up to 450, 500, and sold it again. And that, what comes to mind there is a little old Toyota Tercel. I got into the Tercels, and I'll tell you what, you couldn't kill those things. Yeah, and I was getting them and cleaning them up, fixing them up, and sending them out for, sons and daughters going off to school. You could drive those things till the cows come home. They were a little amazing vehicle. Very, very good. Very good. So I hope you kind of grab that today. That's what kills the vehicles today that are short tripped. Stay in town. You work in town once a year, maybe to the cottage or whatever with it is not enough. So that is why short trips kill engines faster than high mileage. They just get bunged up and the oil gets seriously contaminated very, very quickly because the engine's not running hot at 195 for extended periods of time to burn those elements off. NOx emissions, that's unburnt fuel, carbon, and the like. And that mixture in the oil, the unburnt fuel and the carbon mixed in with that oil creates sludge and acid. It's the acid that etches all the bearings and it loosens them up, and then that engine is destined to blow. And it will. It'll just blow itself to pieces. So thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, for being a part of Car Connection. These guys are my brothers from other mothers. And let me tell you, it's worth your while to get that hour and a coffee discovery meeting, get your questions answered with regards to investment portfolios. Your guy's not touching base with you. You don't know what's going on with it. It doesn't seem to be making any money. These guys will turn that around for you, and it will make your eyebrows flutter. They'll help you put a debt retirement plan together, estate planning, powers of attorney, all that stuff. You need to arrange a mortgage. I haven't had a mortgage with a bank for years. I just love being with IG Wealth Management. The team out in Winnipeg is fabulous, and the rates, dynamite. Yeah. Life insurance, critical illness insurance, all those things should be factored into making sure that you have everything covered in your home. And if you have questions, the fellas have the answers, the right answers. So those who are giving you advice, if they're not standing where you want to be, smile, be respectful, but you need to get your questions answered. No sales gimmick, no sales whatsoever. An hour and a coffee, no cost to you except I ask this for the fellas. Be honest, put all the cards on the table, and please do not waste their time. They don't need any more clients. Back in 2007, I talked to Tony about coming on and being a part of the show, helping you learn how to finance your repairs and pay cash. How to prepare to buy the next vehicle. how you can learn how to get taxes to pay your next vehicle. How interesting is that? Yeah. So lots of things that you can learn if you ask questions. And book that hour and a coffee by Zoom, phone, in person, wherever. In a box, with a fox, the guys will meet with you. Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, let them know I sent you. All the links for all the program partners and recommended businesses are on the homepage of our website, carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. All the links for you to like, share, follow, and be part of our community are on the top right-hand corner of our homepage and our merch store. Buy some Motormouth Car Connection gear. Help someone that's struggling with addiction to get to Total Freedom Darien Center, New York, Canada and U.S., Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba, Canada. That's a men-only campus. Darien Center, New York is for men and women. There's a new life waiting for them there. Let's help them get there. Okay? Buy some merch. Proceeds go to help that happen. And there's a lot of that going on there, all age groups. Let's do something together to help that. Thank you to Crystal Ridge Dream Center, nonprofit, faith-based organization serving men and women and children meals, love, and hope, changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region. They have an after-school program for the kids. They feed them, they love on them, they mentor them, help them with their homework. They have music lessons there and chocolate bingo. I want to sign up for that. Like, that sounds, yeah. So if you want to come alongside and help, they have many ways of doing that. So connect with them. They also, for a $25 donation, you get a tax receipt. They have a phenomenal program for single moms, seniors, all age groups. It's amazing. It's actually outstanding what their 60 plus volunteers do. But volunteers, they retire, they move, they go, they move around. So they're always looking for volunteers, and I'll tell you, the volunteers are very excited about what goes on there. So thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you again for letting us into your world as we let you into ours. So till tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., we'll be talking about dealer maintenance schedules, helpful or overkill, and coming up in February, the 30-day fuel saving challenge. How'd you like to put $1,200 back in your wallet in 2026? And that's just on one vehicle. Interested? Hang on, because it's going to be a fabulous 2026. So till tomorrow, happy, healthy motoring. Drive safe. Make sure you've got lots of things in the vehicle to keep you warm and comfy should you slide off into the ditch or have to, your vehicle breaks down. In this freezing cold weather, trust me, you want to have all the warmies and things that you can take with you, some water, some trail mix, cell phone, 2 cell phone chargers, just in case. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for another Car Connection Motormouth Morning Drive. Bye for now.